Hey guys, all right, we're back into some Planet Zoo mischief, and this was a fun Wolf's Den build. Slightly lower profile than the beta Wolf's Den. Remember, it kind of, I don't know, it just had some more elevated angles to it. The rock work, honestly, I think the rock work looked a little better with the beta version, and to see that beta version, that is, remember, what the Nocturnal House is now. It's what Waylon's, the black bear, that is his facade. So definitely didn't want to triple that. We did not want to three-peat that design, so I come up with a little more discreet design. I figured, like, I've made him this little cave, and it is, like, you know, really secluded and hidden, kind of back in this little meadow cove type area. What made this particularly tough is the stinking X-Bug. I am a very fast builder. Like, when I'm rolling, I'm just, you know, bam, 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 just going with it here. And that was, when they announced that it was fixed, it really was fixed for me for a good 2 or 3 days. Come home one day from work, maybe Monday-ish, and it was completely back. But the one good thing is, I was talking to Beyond Drew TV. He's heard that another larger update is coming, but it's not coming till next week. He's heard. So, you know, I'm filming this right now. It's about 9 o'clock on Thursday. I think I'm going to have to go through the whole weekend and moving into the grizzly bear exhibit with this X key. And, you know, I mean, not trying to whine too much, but like I said, just when I want to just quickly flip, move, turn, spin rocks, and just that you wouldn't believe, like when I'm in here building, how much longer that those extra couple of clicks take. Can even be kind of disheartening, like where I'm kind of like sitting upstairs and I'm like, do I really want to go down there and fight with that right now? Because, I mean, you guys see how many pieces I use. I mean, I'm not Silverette, like use 80,000 pieces on a roof type, you know, pieces, but I use a lot of pieces. And I just think that this X-Bug, it really slows down the progress. You know, it kind of crams up the creative flow. I just design better when that key functions like it's supposed to, because I think I spend longer on the designs. And what I mean by longer is, I don't mean like you're probably saying, well, you just said you like to build stuff fast. The point is, when I say I can spend longer on it, it's because I can build faster, and spending longer on it means I put in more detail in the facade or the enclosure or the layout. And with the X-Bug not working, I don't flesh these ideas out as probably as detailed as I would, just because it takes so stinking long to flip back and forth and click the spin access and the arrow access. So that is kind of what hems me up a little bit. But nonetheless, I think we'll jump into the real time here in a sec, just like we usually do. But killer design. I love how this came out. It was such an interesting mixture going through this, of designing it with privacy in mind, but also designing it to where you can actually you know, get really up close with the wolves. I'll show you. I've got another little separate tunnel, like what you're seeing right now. That's our main viewing area, obviously, for the den. But I also have a little side offshoot there, off to the right a little bit, that lets you go in even further into the den. And then, of course, we've got the outdoor walkway, kind of guarded with, blocked off with water, an electric fence. Because one thing I have to tell you about these timber wolves, if you're thinking about putting them in your zoo, do not forget, they are leapers. Like, they will straight up, if you give them anything remotely close to the edge, and give them a rock to start off of, or some kind of platform, they're taking that leap. They're getting out of there. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. But I think I've got everything set back now. Normally what I do is kind of like I went through all my escapes before I started filming this. Just so, I mean, I know sometimes the Thompson gazelles and stuff, they still escape a little bit, but it's went way down. But as far as us getting in here and me showing you the exhibit and stuff, I don't think, knock on wood, I don't think we're going to have to worry about the timber wolves escaping anymore, because now they've kind of given up on it. I've shored up everything, pushed back the rocks that they were using. Don't forget, too, you got to put up some kind of fence, because the timber wolves can swim. Like, they will straight up jump in the water and start swimming, you know, just like a regular dog will. So keep that in mind as well. Learned that the hard way. And but anyways, so let's go ahead. We'll wrap up this time lapse. Let's jump into the real time and let's discuss this enclosure in the American area as a whole and just kind of see what you guys think here. So hold on one sec. All right, guys, so here is what we have going on. Really, really enjoying this. See, I've almost got like a ridge line here. See how we've basically made a spine that separates this main area, like where you would be viewing the buffalo and all that from, and then cross over to this side, and it is, in fact, the wolf den over here. And I also kind of gave them, you know, fleshed it out, gave them a really, really open space. See what I was talking about, swimming? Like they will jump in. But I've also given them, like, okay, they've got the very, very larger public, you know, den over here. Also, just for the sake of privacy, you know, I figured like if, you know, if they give birth in private, you know, humans and stuff, probably, you know, looking at them over there, probably be a little more stressful. I've given them this little private cave back here in the mountain as well, so they can get back there, really out of sight of the people. So yeah, that is kind of like their little plateau there. That's their, you know, I've kind of got it rocked out, got them a bunch of foliage in there. These two are about to fight. But this is really, really cool, guys. I think this whole North American area, you know, if we look at it from, like, can you believe how large it ended up being? Like, we start out way up here. And for anybody that's new, let's give them a little tour of the American area, North American area. So when you make your way in past the gorillas, you're greeted by the Everest, Montana style trade depot. So you make your way across the wooden bridge, essentially into the land. So right as you come in, to your left, you've got Wayland, who is a Formosan black bear, but we're actually, for the sake of the North American area, we're pretending he is a black bear. So you can look into his little den area. And then, of course, we've got like a little elevated path that you can go up and kind of look down onto him from up there. And where's he at? Is he? Yeah, he's over here sleeping. So, sleeping by some turds. So that's Waylon. haven't put him a girlfriend in here yet, but he's still having a good time, just kind of chilling by himself. We've got just like a little mountain stream for him, just kind of like a little. You know, I was just thinking like Great Smoky Mountain National Forest, National Park, with the logs and the trees falling down over it, you know, just for him. And then, of course, his little den's kind of backed in there, tucked away. And this whole little area right here is called Black Bear Trail, because, you know, it dead ends right there. The staff and stuff can come up, but this is your Black Bear Trail back here. So that is where you come if you want to check out Waylon back there. Then, of course, the next big part is actually our Bison Plains. So there's two ways to get to it. Right here, you can take the actual, the 4x4, the truck up into the mountains, and then it takes you like down into the plains, or kind of down into their, you know, their canyon, if you will. And also, before we get too ahead of ourselves, we've got the Wilderness Grill over here. So really, when you first come into the land across from Waylon's enclosure, you've got the Wilderness Grill. You know, I figure hamburgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken salads, you know, just kind of, theme parky type food, nothing too fancy. And then you kind of make your way into the canyon, and you can walk if the line's like really, really long. I got a set of bathrooms here to the right. You can walk down through here if the line for the trucks are long, or you can jump up on the trucks, and they bring you kind of up the canyon here, a little bit higher than the walking guests. I thought that would be really fun. We'll get people back in here soon, and we'll see what the ratio is, how many of them want to ride and see the plains from up there, and how many actually just walk like straight back here to the wolves. And then you kind of make this the bend here, and it takes you down into essentially Buffalo Valley, Buffalo Plains. We've got this area right between the two mountain ranges. Love these airlocks here, how that works. And that truck essentially takes you into Buffalo Plains. So let's see here. They are being stopped by a peculiar little gazelle, a little antelope, excuse me. What is this? Oliver out here, kind of in the way, holding up the ride. But yeah, so this is that's our little herd out here. This is their whole little area. The trucks come through. They pull a U-turn right here. They go back up that ridge line, and then they make their way back over to the airlock. And all of this, the plains are actually serviced by a little side road off of Black Bear Trail. There's Waylon. He's kind of up moving around now. So if you haven't seen him, there's our little guy, our little black bear. And he is really, really fun to watch. Really mischievous. Loves that tree back there. He stays up in the... Uh-oh. He's going to give us a scratch. He's just living life. He's just a happy little black bear. All of his stats, as soon as we put him in it, the stats were great. Really, really just loves this habitat. Like I said, I want to try to maybe put him a little female in here just because I want to see if we can get him to breed and have a little cub. I just want to see a little Waylon cub. But yeah, and then going back to what you were originally here, what I originally brought you in to see, this is our wolf's den. Little main facade. So this is where most of the people would be probably looking at it. Kids be climbing up looking into the glass. And what I was talking about, another little design that deviated a little bit from the original wolf's den. Check this out, guys. I've got a second little tunnel here. So if you make your way in here, you can get a little bit different angle. Got to get a mechanic in here to fix this glass. You've got a little bit different angle over here. So this is kind of like the little more secluded cave, which, in real life, this would be like probably a very hot, kid-filled, stinky, diaper, stroller-filled, nasty cave. But, for the sake of this, we'll pretend that it's not that. And but yeah, they've already had some little cubs. They are in and out of here. They're playing all over the place. And just to give you a little look, here's inside the den. Who is this over here sleeping? This is Aremius, our little male. The wolves, same thing. Normally the wolves were kind of hard for me in the beta. Plop them right in the green. So that was really, really cool. That was like kind of what I've been crying about, wanting to be toggleable, if that's a word, to not have to worry about that. But really, it's kind of like Jonty was saying, Jonty was essentially kind of like telling me, quit whining, it'll be okay. But, once you get the things like they need it, typically you don't have to worry about it too much. But I guess my main thing that I'm still kind of harping on is the space requirements for the hippos, particularly. That is kind of still what's given me a little bit of fits. But it's just tough on the hippos, guys. They want their massive space, and it is tough to seems like it's tough to meet that requirement. So got a couple plans for that, but I don't know. We'll tackle that later. We've got some we've still got a lot of North American type issues to work out. I've got to figure out what's going to go into this plaza. Need to get our fence up here. The herd has obviously just been fed, so they're coming over here to grab some lunch. There he goes. He needs to come back and clean up some poop. But you know, I just really like hearing your guys' reactions to the whole North American area, and I know that I think you guys are really gonna call out this Wolf's Den. I think you guys are gonna like this. This is totally been fun, totally my style, kind of keeping up with the rest of the themed areas. The biggest thing I think about this whole zoo and this whole park was just trying to stay away from the concrete as much as we can and try to give as many, you know, essentially as many natural barriers as we can. That was the most important part. Once this build left being just a blueprint build for me to build like the market and all that stuff, I knew that is what we wanted to try first. And I think it's worked out really well. Another thing too, I know you guys are probably wondering about, we need to get the VIP pass holder sections in over here. And I was telling my buddy David on here, I think I misspoke. I was saying Ranger Station over here. What I meant to say was Ranger Tower, like an observation type fire tower, if you will, that you would see like in these like more larger, you know, like natural park type settings. I think that is what like I said, I misspoke a little bit. That is what I was meaning to say. And I think that is going to be the stick of the North American area as far as the pass holders, VIPs go. You will get to go up into a Ranger Tower in each of these and kind of look down from that view, because everybody else's view, they're going to be either from right here or from the trucks. So you will be more up in the air and get that almost like that drone type footage once we, you know, once I get the towers up in place. Essentially, that is kind of what our idea and what our thinking is. And see, they definitely come over with these beds and use their den. So it's fun to see the little pups come over here and seeing what mom and dad's doing. But anyways, guys, that is my update for you today. And you know what is next. I will finish filling out some of the foliage over there. Like I said, the canyon's pretty much wrapped up, like as far as how I want that to be seen coming down through here. Not a lot of buildings, just a lot of rock work. So that is kind of how that is going to be. But next part, we need to get us the Grizzly Enclosure going, and it will probably peel off right here and connect back with like the Wolf Hills over here. I just thought of Lord of the Rings. the horse, what do they say? Theoden, run your people into the hills to scratch a living off rocks. So yeah, the wolves are over here in the hills. And so that is what is going on right now, guys. The next big thing, I guess, to look forward to is to what kind of idea we are going to come up with the grizzly bears. So I don't think I have anything going on tomorrow evening. I get off work at about 4 usually on Fridays. So I don't know. I'm just gonna come home and probably jump on and start plopping down some bear ideas. So we will definitely get into the grizzly bear side of things. And another thing this weekend, this is kind of irking me right here, that I do not have anything down in that plaza yet. So, you know, got to come up with some ideas on that as well. But, you know, we're just having fun. It's like you guys said, we're just taking our time. I have no clue what we're going to do when this zoo is done. You know, what do we go on to next? You know, that's the fun part about all this. What kind of mischief are we going to get into after that? Like I said, I think what I'll do is, like I promised you guys, once the grizzly bear exhibit's done, more specifically, once the North American area is done, we are going to go ahead and put this zoo on the workshop, so you guys can really get down in here and take a look take a look at it for yourselves, you know, in person. And then it's time to move back over to Africa. And I know you guys are waiting on the big animals. You're waiting on the elephants, the giraffes, the zebras. A lot of people are requesting me do a little pygmy hippo exhibit, but you know, as far as the elephants and the stuff like that go, the giraffes and the zebras particularly, I would say look for them to have their own little canyon. It'll be kind of in the vein of the Bison Plains over here, except for obviously it will have a big African twist over on that section. Really, really fun just to think about what kind of mischief we're going to get in with the elephants, with the zebras, giraffes, the lions. We haven't even really, you know, we've been kind of building some weird stuff here. We've not even gotten in to the zoo signature animals, if you will. So I think it's like you said, we're just kind of taking our time, just kind of moseying along with this. I know you guys seem to be enjoying it, kind of all this weirdness we're getting into. So anyways, I guess I'll just leave you guys to it and be on the lookout for some grizzly bear mischief this weekend. I don't know if I'll get it all done tomorrow, but in time for Saturday morning, Saturday at lunchtime, yeah, I'll definitely have that whipped and ready to go. So anyways, all right, guys, I guess that's it then.